Tonight on Garbage Time Fantasy Football, we have part 2 of our Sabotage Mock Draft. It's time to sabotage. Welcome into Garbage Time Fantasy Football. I am your host, Ron, the Fantasy Spectre Seymour, joined by Joseph McCann and Ryan Warner. How you doing, boys?
Oh, absolutely fantastic, Ron. How are you feeling after your 4 sabotages yesterday?
A little worse for wear, if I'm being honest.
I'm feeling a repeat this year. I'm feeling a repeat champ status.
Well, if you crush this second half of the draft, Ron, you can make a comeback tonight. And at least there's not a possibility of you being sabotaged 4 times tonight.
Listen, even with being sabotaged 4 times in the first half, I'm still going to win.
Guys, if you like what you hear on Garbage Time Fantasy Football, make sure to like and subscribe to the show here on YouTube. We are also live in audio formats on Apple, Spotify, Google, Pandora, Amazon, iHeartRadio. You can also reach us at www.garbagetimef.com, where you can leave us voicemails and hate mails on the right side of your screen. Click it. We play them live on the show. Also reach us on Instagram at Garbage Time Fantasy Football and Twitter at garbage_time_FF. Any other shit talking or comments before we get into the second half of the draft, boys?
Well, I was thinking about it, and if Ron wins, he should actually thank us for our sabotages, because it means we stopped him from making terrible decisions.
I'm going to win despite your sabotage.
So what you're saying, Ryan, is he needs a rest of them tonight, too, to prevent those choices.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to sit there and listen to that.
Let's get freaky.
All right. If you would like to watch along with us, go over to YouTube, Garbage Time Fantasy Football, Twitch at Garbage Time FF, or on Twitter at Garbage_Time FF. And you can watch us sabotage each other and see our real live reactions, which are
and miserable ass faces.
And miserable faces. Right, exactly. All right, Joe, at number 17, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock. Who do they got?
All right, so in this draft, they're synonymous with Porters, so I've got them taking cornerback Joey Porter Jr. in this spot. If you guys have no problem with it. I think they could definitely use some help in that secondary.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, that is the same exact pick I picked for him as Joey Porter Jr. They had his father when he was there. So
it kind of
I think they're going to like him.
I think it feels destined.
I had them going O-line here to help out Kenny Pickett in the run game. I have them taking Peter Skoronski here.
Mr. Skoronski.
I think it's a little late for him. He kind of slipped through.
You keep saying that, and yeah, I still haven't even picked him.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
You just down on him that hard?
No, he just fell. Not too much further.
That's strange because he's consensus pretty much the top offensive tackle.
Oh, it depends on who you listen to. I've heard people say him, and then I've heard people say that he's still a little bit more raw than some of the other guys, is what I've heard. I guess it's
definitely an interesting. Yeah, definitely an interesting prospect. That puts us at number 18, correct?
Yes, with the Detroit Lions.
Or the Patriots in my book, because I made a trade.
Oh, shoot.
Ooh.
I forgot about that.
With the 18th pick in my mock draft, I've got the Patriots selecting edge from Georgia, Nolan Smith. Am I good, boys?
Yeah.
Yep.
They could definitely use some pressure on that defense. They always like to add to it, too. And Belichick seems to like big-name players from big schools, at least on the defensive side. He leaves the no-name players for the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Where am I? The Lions. The Lions are going to take Cam Smith, cornerback. They just traded away what's his name? Their third overall pick from a couple years ago.
So they definitely need a corner.
They have a need at corner, so they're going to go with Cam Smith.
I dig it.
I have the Lions doubling down on their defensive line here. I have them taking Kalijah Kancey, defensive tackle.
Kancey goes off the board.
I think it's the first defensive tackle that I've picked.
He's a little bit farther down the board, too. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Kancey, though. A lot of teams seem to like him.
Here. How to even come close to spelling his name?
Calijah. And then Kancey.
Defensive tackle. Did that really erase his name?
Yeah. But now
you were getting better with the spreadsheets, Ron.
Look, it's a new day, you know? New day, new time. All right, Joe, at pick 19, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Bucs like defense, so I've got them selecting Miles Murphy, edge out of Clemson.
Miles Murphy?
Mr. Miles Murphy, he fell down my draft board a bit. The Bucs seem to always get nice edges in spots like this and always get players that produce pressure. What's changing that from here? Big name school, big name team in Florida.
Yeah.
Feels like a good fit.
All right, now I have a trade. Tampa Bay is going to trade down with Minnesota. Minnesota jumps the Ravens, Chargers, and Seahawks to get the wide receiver they want, Mr. Jordan Addison.
And what was the trade? It was
the Vikings and up to the Bucs there.
Okay. I like that.
And they take wide receiver Jordan Addison. They definitely need to take a wide receiver to pair with Justin Jefferson. Thielen, they let him go. KJ Osborne couldn't even jump Thielen on the depth chart. Showed spurts of being good, but they need a guy, and I think Jordan Addison would fit well across of Justin Jefferson.
I agree with that.
Ryan, who do you got?
I'm going to have the Butts take Hendon Hooker here. If everyone's going to let me do that.
They definitely need a quarterback, so that's an interesting fit.
Yeah, I don't think Baker's really the answer. I could see them taking a shot on a first-round QB here.
I like it. Pick number 20, Seattle Seahawks, Joe. Well, let me go back to Hendon Hooker real quick. There's people that have him ranked over Will Levis in this class. He had an ACL injury that kept him out a lot of last year, and that pushed down his draft stock. But there are people that think very highly of Hendon Hooker, so him jumping into the first round could be something that you see.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've got him as high as 14 to the Detroit Lions. I think they could potentially be looking for the heir apparent there. And they see him, I think, as someone, when healthy, as a very talented quarterback that is very talented throwing the ball. We saw that at Tennessee.
Yeah, one of the biggest knocks on him is just that he's old. I think it's going to be something like 25 or 26 even when the season starts.
Oh my God! Throw him in the senior home.
I know it. All right, Joe. Seattle Seahawks, number 20.
This guy's been a riser as of late, so I've even seen him in the top 10 of a lot of drafts here. So I thought he was kind of an interesting pick here at 20 for the Seattle Seahawks. I already gave them an offensive tackle, so I'm going to go to the other side of the line and give them Luke Van Ness, edge from Iowa. Lucas Van Ness.
All right. I'm right there with you. Oh, man. I gave them an edge earlier, but I'm going to double down. They would like, everyone can use more depth on the defensive line, so I'm going to give them Myles Murphy.
It's interesting that Myles Murphy fell in your draft, too.
Well, I had him going earlier, and then I was sabotaged, and things happened and pushed him down my board a little bit further. He was supposed to be going number 12 to Houston.
Naturally.
Yeah. I got sabotaged a few times, and it changed some things.
That'll happen.
That'll happen.
All right, Ryan, who do you got for the Lions?
I got the Seahawks, you mean?
The Seahawks. That's what I said.
I have the Seahawks going on the offensive side of the ball. I have them taking Osiris Torrance here.
Osiris Torrance?
Yep. Inside offensive line, interior offensive line.
Is he out of Florida? He's a little bit farther down the board.
He is a little bit further down the board, yes.
Thought I saw his name out there. He's been mocked in some first round drafts, just not a name I was looking at this early quite a bit. So
going
deep, I see, right?
Yeah, I'm taking some out of left field. You gotta get those. That's how you might accrue some points that your other opponents might not be prepared for.
You're not wrong.
So that puts us up to the Los Angeles Chargers, correct?
Yes.
That is correct.
I feel like there's a lot of different directions you could go with this team. They could use a lot of different pieces to help put them in that championship position. But building around your young quarterback is the best way to do it. The Chiefs have shown that. Just a really good quarterback elevates all the players around him. So with this pick, I've got them selecting Zay Flowers, Boston College wide receiver. Highly reputable, good college. A lot of teams don't like to really discuss him because they're hoping that he falls down draft boards, I think. So it's very quiet on him, and I think he's going to go a lot higher than people think.
All right. For the Chargers, I have them shoring up their offensive line, and this is where Mr. Peter Skoronski goes.
That would be deadly for them.
And they are happy he fell down this far.
No thanks to Sabotages, I'm sure.
Actually, no. This is where I had him in my original draft.
You guys do not believe in Peter Skoronski, and I think he's probably the most versatile tackle/guard. He can really play four positions in this draft. I think he's very likely going to be the top one taken.
Well, by not having the Patriots draft him, I completely forgot that he was still available in mine. I would have had the Patriots take him over Darnell Wright.
Well, my thing is I've had 2 offensive tackles taken before him, and I've heard quite a few different people talk about how they feel like he could be the 3rd offensive tackle taken off the board. So I'm just going by some of the things I've heard and trying, like Ryan said, you got to do some out-of-the-box things to try to get the edge.
Agreed.
All right, I'm going to try this one out again. I have the Chargers taking Bijan Robinson here. If if it's going to be allowed.
It's a tough one.
I think I might be giving too much credibility to the Austin Eckler unhappiness rumors.
That's why I'm not sabotaging it.
But do you see Eckler being traded on draft day? It'd be interesting.
I don't think so, but it's a thought. And with him falling down your board, as you said, this is a decent spot for him.
Yeah, that's true. It's worth noting that was not my original placement for Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, but I really couldn't let you do the original placement.
I know.
To the Eagles.
Couldn't let it happen.
That's fair.
Well,
all right, we are now.
I don't want that to happen either, though, because look at what the Eagles do with Miles. They just don't use their running backs.
Yeah, but no.
For fantasy.
We are now up to pick number 22, the Baltimore Ravens. Joe, who do they take?
This is a team with an absolutely decimated wide receiving core. So I'm predicting a run at that position starting here a little bit. I personally hate this wide receiver. I haven't liked him since I've seen him play. Drops the ball a lot. Quentin Johnston. Highly athletic. I think a lot of teams are going to look at him due to the athleticism. And he's going to kind of be like a grenade. And the Ravens seem to like grenade wide receivers. So hate the pick, but it sounds like something that they do.
Yeah, but I mean, he's very athletic, and outside of 90% of the wide receivers in this class, he actually has the size and weight to actually not be just a slot guy. There's
very few of them that actually have the weight and sizes. This is a very small wide receiving class.
Yeah.
I also believe that they go ahead.
I was going to say, I also have the Ravens taking Quentin Johnston here. Like you said, he's got raw talent, but he does suffer from some drops. And also, he's not very good at the contested catch, but he is extremely good after you get the ball in his hands. So if you could work up some plays for him like that, he could be very, very good for an NFL roster.
Definitely.
Ryan, who do you got?
Wait, what do I want? I am going to go. We have the Ravens go defense here. I'm going to have them take Deonte Banks, cornerback.
All right.
All right. Ravens shoring up their defense a little bit. I like it. All right, Joe, on the clock, you have the Vikings.
They could use a corner in this spot. The Vikings like to move around the draft board, so I was really tempted to just go with my second gut feeling here. But I'll give them top corner on the board here, Devon Witherspoon.
Not a wide receiver, huh?
No, I don't think so.
You have the Butts here, right, Ron?
I do have the Bucks, and actually I have them taking the same person that you had them taking up there.
Okay. You just have them doing some pits and move them back.
They got a few picks from it, so they take QB Hendon Hooker. So me and you are going to get at least, 1 or 2 points out of this, hopefully.
Yeah. So I have the Vikings taking Zay Flowers here.
Unfortunately, that's a little bit too perfect of a pick there, Ryan. It is a really good fit, and I hate that. So I need to actually beat you this year. So sorry, I gotta give you one.
All right, well, we'll have him take Jordan Addison then.
It's an even better fit. Maybe sabotage myself.
So literally, we have them taking the Vikes and the Bucks. We have them taking these same exact players. Just I had them trading up for them, and you had them staying in the same spot. That's kind of funny. That'll be fun.
Make sure to list that as a sabotage, too.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Ryan. I had to send one your way. I sent them all Ron's way yesterday.
I get it. But I do agree with Ron's logic that he said when he had them trade up, like they need to get someone else opposite Justin Jefferson.
All right, next on the clock is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Joe, who do they take?
I'm going to have a trade here.
A trade?
A trade.
Trade.
So I'm going to have the Bengals move up. And they are going to select Brian Branch, safety out of Alabama. They are dying for a safety at this current position and really need one. I mean, they lost a big one in this offseason. I think he's the perfect fit.
Okay. Jacksonville, I also have them taking a defensive back, but I got them taking Keely Ringo, corner.
Ringo.
Like you said, they just need help on the defensive backside of the ball. Or not the Bengals. I'm sorry, you did the Bengals, but the Jacksonville Jaguars also need help on that side of the ball. I see the Jaguars cornerback is listed as one of their top needs, so yeah, Keely Ringo.
All right, I have the Jags. I finally have Myles Murphy finding a home down in Jacksonville after he falls all the way down to number 24.
All right, and next on the clock is the New York Giants. Joe, who do you got picking for my Giants?
They desperately need a wide receiver. So I've got your Giants selecting Jalen Hyatt. Very talented wide receiver out of Tennessee. He was...
I love it.
I am not nearly as high as Jalen Hyatt.
Well, fuck you, Ron. Your team gets Josh Downs, who is going to be a bust.
God, he's worse.
Josh fucking Downs.
Ryan, will you fucking sabotage that, please?
Enjoy Josh fucking Downs, Ron Seymour.
I'm going to leave it because I am pretty confident that's wrong.
I also
You're
have the
right,
Giants
'cause it was-
taking the wide. I also have the Giants taking the wide receiver, but they are taking Zay Flowers. Potentially.
It is the Giants' pick.
Yeah, but I just had to make sure that no buttons are read.
Nobody gets a pick for their home team, Ron, and nobody gets a confident one like Zay Flowers. Bit in the backspace. Make sure to put sabotage next to that.
All right. The Giants will take defensive tackle Brian Breesy.
Did you say greasy?
I said something.
Breesy.
Breesy, whatever.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I'll go with it.
Yeah. So that means we're all out of sabotages then, aren't we?
Yep.
Those
All
are
right,
fun
Ryan.
while they lasted.
Ryan,
Who do you got the Giants taking?
I'm sorry, but I had the Giants taking Zay Flowers. Well,
I've never wanted you to get a pick more right in my life.
after being snubbed by the Vikings somehow,
You,
falls to the Giants.
you know what I really love is both times you sabotage Ron, you then pick the same player right after it.
Yeah. Don't worry. It didn't go unnoticed on my part.
Strategy.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez, he says.
Jeez.
What a nerd.
What a nerd. Next on the clock is the Dallas Cowboys. Joe, you're up.
I'm a little conflicted on this one. But it seems like the natural fit, and I'm really glad that all the sabotages are gone because I know that this would be the sabotage if it didn't get picked. So let's piss Ron off and send Bijan Robinson in the state of Texas to the Dallas Cowboys. Bijan Robinson.
That was my number 3 spot if you guys sabotage me on the Chargers, was the Cowboys.
He's not going there. Wait, wasn't this a sabotage? No.
Yours was a sabotage.
Right. All right, for the Cowboys, I had them taking Brian Breesy, but that didn't happen. God, what are their team needs? I don't want to do it. Fuck it. If he falls here, they're going to do it. They're taking Zay Flowers.
Oof.
That
hurts my soul big time.
Oh, I bet you it does.
Ryan, say yours so I don't have to wallow in
that anymore. I have them filling up another spot that they're pretty thin at. They had a big player at that position leave. So I'm going to have them take Dalton Kincaid at tight end.
That's a good fit. They really need a tight end.
Yeah, their tight end one right now is Jake Ferguson.
All right. Pick number 27, the Buffalo Bills.
Probably the hardest one for me.
Yeah. I struggle with this one a lot. But I'm going to go with my gut feeling on this, and I think they could really use some help on the offensive line. So I'm going to have them select Dawan Jones, offensive tackle out of Ohio State.
Dawan Jones, huh?
Yeah.
Offensive tackle. Oh, I know who I should have put for the Giants. Son of a bitch. That was dumb. Oh, well.
Who was that?
Oh, either that guy Ryan took, Osiris Torrance, because they could use that, or John Michael Schmitz.
Could have worked.
Oh, well. But for the Buffalo Bills, I have them taking cornerback Deonta Banks. They need to shore up that back half a little bit more, and Banks could help them with that.
I really hope your team drafts Josh Downs because the last North Carolina wide receiver run that they got, not so good.
Who was it?
Hicks. Hakeem Hicks.
Hakeem Nicks?
Yes.
He was actually really good for a few years and then
just kind of faded.
Had a bunch of injuries and then he faded down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had the Bills going defensive here. I have them taking Trenton Simpson.
That's
not a name I'm really familiar with.
I know. I'm making some out of the lots pits here.
He's the linebacker, right?
Yep.
Trenton Simpson.
Yeah.
I'm either gonna come dead last or I'm gonna smoke you guys.
Crush them all. I'm gonna laugh when we get none of them right. Any of us. They're all fucking wrong.
It's looking like dead last.
All right, Cincinnati Bengals at pick 28.
Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So the offense is looking damn good up there. They've got one tight end, and I'm giving them a second one. They really want Michael Mayer, tight end out of Notre Dame. It is a need there. They're filling up the second spot and giving their boy another weapon.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's continuing his besmirching of Evan Ingram, even though he went out and had a really great year last year.
Right.
Yep.
Well, they got to bring someone in after Evan Ingram, rode the bench all season, like Joe said.
Someone for the heckling fandom here is
Hey.
K7 says, "Go Patriots." K, the man above me, that bastard Ryan Warner, is a Patriots fan, so he agrees with you. I'm a Jets fan. You can go to hell with that comment. Make sure to like and subscribe.
I'm a Giants fan, so I don't care about the Patriots. We beat them twice in the Super Bowl.
I
also have the Cincinnati Bengals I have the Cincinnati Bengals in the spot taking tight end Michael Mayer.
Feel free to talk shit in the comments. We like that.
I'm going to have the Bengals fill a need on the defensive side. I'm going to have them take Emmanuel Forbes here, cornerback.
Is he a top 100 on the Forbes list?
Emmanuel what? Forbes?
Yes.
I'm going to assume, since that was the joke, that
he will be after he gets drafted in the first round by the Cincinnati
Bengals. What position was he?
Cornerback.
You must be going off the Bill Belichick scouting report. These are some names that I am just not very familiar with because
I've heard of Trent Simpson. I haven't heard of Emmanuel Forbes yet. So
I'm just going to get one of those right and brag about it for the rest of the year, even though I come fast.
With pick 29, we have the New Orleans Saints.
Oh boy. All right, here's my New England Patriots pick. I've seen them on a few drafts, kind of like them. They need an edge. They're going to go with edge from Northwestern. Adid Tomiwa and the Ebor.
What did you just say to me?
That was really good, Joe.
Adet Omiwa.
Let's see. Okay.
Adib.
Let's see about this.
Or.
Oop, not a space.
He says spelled this horrible.
Tom.
Wa.
A Debo War. I'm so smart.
Oh, so you've actually heard of him?
Nope. I'm reading it off of the screen over here. I found his name and copied and pasted.
Look at you, the English major.
Adetomiwa Adibawar.
This is a public service announcement and apology to number 29 in this year's NFL draft. I butchered your name, and I will promise I will never get it right.
He doesn't get the simplest of names right, so no, he won't. I got the New Orleans Saints. I also agree they need a edge. So I have them taking Nolan Smith out of Georgia.
Definitely fell a little bit.
Yeah.
I really like Nolan Smith, so if he ends up with the New England Patriots, it's going to piss me off. And I think that's what's going to happen.
I'm going to have the Saints take Brian Breezy here.
Feeling breezy.
He's a defensive tackle, right?
Yep.
Woo. All right. With the 30th pick, the NFC Championship Eagles take
Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina, fell a little bit on my board. They took an edge early. Now they're getting the corner and shoring up that spot.
Oh, yeah. Well, we flip-flopped. I had him taking a corner earlier. I'm going to have him taking a defensive tackle here. Kalijah Cansey.
Cansey's good.
Because they absolutely love their depth at their D-line, and they lost a lot of it.
So at pick number 10, after the Eagles gave the middle finger to Bijan Robinson in my draft and took a cornerback, I'm going to have them take an edge here. I'm gonna have him take Nolan Smith.
That would be nasty if they ended up with Nolan Smith.
And with the final pick of the 2023 first round, the Kansas City Chiefs take
offensive tackle from Oklahoma, Antoine Harrison. He's very close to Kansas City. They're familiar with him. They want to protect their now gimpy quarterback who can win a Super Bowl with one leg. Anton Harrison is the pick.
All right, I have them taking edge rusher Isaiah Foskey.
Foskey. And in a miraculous turn of events, Ryan's going to have the Patriots trading up to the 31st pick.
Well, originally, I don't want the same pitch as Joe. So I'm going to have them take Quentin Johnston here, wide receiver.
I would hate that.
Wow. He fell, huh?
Falling all the way to 31.
All the way to 31, and the Chiefs just jump on it, and the rich get richer.
Look at that.
So any players,
folks.
Any players that any of us had falling out of the first, that's surprising?
Let's see my draft results, and I'll let you know. You guys go first.
I don't think I had. I mean, I definitely had some fall, but I don't know about completely out of the first. I never selected Brian Branch, which both of you had him going in the first.
Yeah, I had him pretty early because of Sabotages.
Yeah.
He ended up 16 to Washington for me.
I think Jalen Hyatt falling out of the first round in mine was kind of surprising. I think he is going to end up being a first-round pick.
Dude, he is not as good as people are making him out to be.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of hype, and even if he isn't, he's going to get picked.
Yeah.
Did any of us have him in the
he
first?
even had the year he had is because the other wide receiver on that team got injured. And when that man was on the field, Jalen Hyatt didn't really do much of anything.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit here. When you're running by Alabama corners, which are NFL level talents, you've got something there. And
you've got
whether
speed,
this is,
but we've seen speed lose a lot.
It sounds like a perfectly stupid move for the Giants to make. So I predict that's what they're going to actually do. But because you sabotaged me, you get Josh Downs.
Which is worse, but
much worse.
Yeah, no, there was I feel like this draft was a little bit harder than last year.
Speak for yourself. I only got 2 right last year.
Well, I mean, I didn't get a lot right either, but just finding who I wanted to put where was harder for me.
Well, when you get sabotaged 5 times, that's likely to happen.
I mean, even before that, even when I was just doing my thing, like one of my drafts, I had Zay Flowers falling all the way to Kansas City at 31. I had one of them where the Bengals traded up with who was that? Traded up with the Seahawks at 20, I think it was, to take Bijan Robinson. Just the different combinations of things I had that all looked good.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard. There was a few players, I guess, that made it real hard. Like Hendon Hooker, I feel like there's a solid chance he goes in the first round. But where is Bijan Robinson going to fall? And then all of these wide receivers, it's like these guys can literally just pick a name out of the hat, it seems like, to take one of these guys outside of Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got an idea before we get out of here. Let's do one more thing, which is list our favorite pick for our drafts and the one we hate the most, which can include your sabotage. I think that's a good thing to do out of here. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So honestly, my favorite pick here, and the one I think that is most likely to happen, gonna big screen me.
Actually, big screen Ryan on accident.
I think the most likely pick here is Quentin Johnston to the Ravens. I'm pretty confident that's going to be the pick for them. They've talked about beefing up the wide receiving core, and I think he's going to fall, and that's kind of the perfect spot for him. So the most confident pick I'm in on this draft is probably Quentin Johnston. My favorite one, though, overall is Tyree Wilson to the Eagles. I think that's a really good fit for them. The one I hate the most, it's got to be Josh Downs to the Giants. It just feels so unlikely. He sucks ass. I just did that because I was being petty. I don't think Josh Downs actually ends up on the Giants. I think that'll actually end up being Jalen Hyatt. And then Ron will have to eat his words and pretend that he really likes him.
The pick I hated the most was the Titans trading up for Will Levis because I don't think that happens. But that was a sabotage, so that's what I hated the most. The one that I think I'm most confident in, God, that's like I was talking about earlier. That's a hard one. I don't know. Like all of these wide receivers could go somewhere different. The one I feel most confident is literally CJ Stroud to the Panthers. Like
really?
I
don't see that.
You don't see CJ Stroud to the Panthers at all.
No, I think Bryce Young's almost written in stone, but you guys thought that with a different defensive tackle last year going to Jacksonville, and I was right. You guys were wrong. So maybe you've got the edge on us there.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything at first, even after the combines and after the pro days, it was still CJ Stroud. And now all of the sudden, for seemingly no reason, everyone is like, oh, it's Bryce Young now. And
well, there's a reason why you cancel all your visits. It's really strange.
He canceled all his visits because he knows he's going 1 or 2. Like, why have all these visits with these other people? You know you're going 101 or 102. Why visit with the fucking Patriots? You're not falling that far. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Well,
seriously,
they would definitely take you anyway because you're from Alabama.
Right. But like, think about it. Like, he's not going to go and visit the Giants. He's not falling that far. He's not.
Hello, Matt Jones. Meet your former teammate, Bryce Young.
And everyone's talking like he canceled all his visits, like it's guaranteed he's going 101 or 102 to the Texans. He's already visited with the Panthers too. Like that argument works just as good for the Panthers.
I suppose. I also feel good about 2 other things too. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba going to the Texans is a really good fit. They desperately need a wide receiver. They're going to take a quarterback. Typically, like to pair those early, and the Jets taking an offensive tackle, that's almost a damn guarantee at this point. The one I really think that they're going to take will end up being Paris Johnson. I had to draft him earlier because of Sabotages. I do like the Tennessee one there too, but I think Paris Johnson's ultimately going to end up being that. But them taking a tackle feels like a guarantee.
Yeah, that was going to be my pick that I like the most, that I feel the most confident about, is the Jets taking a tackle.
Paris Johnson.
I have it as Broderick Jones.
Okay.
I feel really confident in that pick. The one I hate the most, actually, is probably going to be Bijan Robinson to the Chargers, because I don't think that happens. But I had to do it. So that's probably the one I dislike the most.
Sabotage drafts can be painful.
But I take that back if I end up being right. You have to cut this out.
Then you were a genius.
Yes.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say before we get out of here?
Nope.
No, I think I'm good.
Ron, it'll be fun having you come over and actually paying attention to these as we are eating and drinking to our heart's content. At least I will be drinking. I don't know about you, but I'm sure you'll be keeping track of this while I am slowly going down the buzz lane.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it all for
You used to be devastated when the Jets draft someone that like Joe does not want.
You know what I would secretly kind of want to happen, like deep down inside is them taking Jackson Smith and Jigba and pairing them with Garrett Wilson, so former teammates with Aaron Rodgers this year. That would be insane. But then I'd be like, all right, now what are we doing to offensive tackle because we need another one desperately. But hey, that would be the Bengals approach. They did that a few years ago. They're like, you know what? Fuck the offensive line. We're taking the top wide receiver in this draft. Ja'Marr Chase.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I like Jackson Smith and the Jigba to the Bears. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Mm.
I don't know if that one happens. I'm not positive on that one. I still think he probably ends up going to the Texans at 12.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it'd be fun to see him with the Bears too.
Yeah. My most surprising one, I think, was Will Levis being picked at number 3 with the Colts. But there's kind of a lot of smoke about them really liking him. I don't know if they'll necessarily trade up to 3 for him, but I wanted a little bit of flair in my draft, and I've seen that a few times now too. So we'll see. It'll be fun. And I'm sure draft night, to replace a video next week, me and Ron will be having reaction videos again to a lot of these picks. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll have to wait a lot longer, or I will at least, for my team's picks.
We'll have some more early ones too, like the first overall pick, second, and then we'll sporadically put it throughout the night. Those are popular with the heckling fandom. They seem to like them last year, and I can put them in the shorts. So,
you know, I mean, when the Jets pick at 13, the Patriots at 14, I have to wait all the way to pick 25.
Well, let's get real. The Pats will end up trading out of the first round altogether completely. So,
even though someone at the beginning of last year was like, the Giants will have like a top 3 pick this year.
That would be me.
Oh, and behold, here we are. Oh, snap. I know why JJ isn't staying on the pod.
Why is that?
He didn't want to read the apology bet for the Giants winning more games this year.
Oh, is that it?
I believe that.
JJ.
What a coward.
Did you even write him one, though?
Well, no, obviously I forgot until this exact moment.
Oh, so what you're saying is you need to at least leave it as a voicemail then?
Yeah, I'm going to have to write one up sometime. And he's going to have to leave it as a voicemail for us because he's not getting out of it that easy.
It'd be a real... What were you saying, Ryan?
Can't wait for JJ to read that in 2025 by the time around where it writes it.
Yeah, and it'd be a real shame if Zeke Elliott signed with a team before the draft that wasn't the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, it still could be the Cowboys.
All right, guys, if you like what you hear on Garbage Time Fantasy Football, make sure to like and subscribe to the show here on YouTube. We even accept Patriots fans' case, so that's okay. You can leave us voicemails at www.garbagetimeff.com. We take voice and hate mails and play them live on the show. We are all competitive fans and rivals on the show, so have fun, banter with us, leave us fantasy football questions. That's usually what we do on the show, but because the draft is so close, this is just kind of a special thing that we do every single year, and we really enjoy. Listen to us in audio formats on Apple, Spotify, Google, Pandora, or Amazon, iHeartRadio, anywhere else you listen to podcasts. You can also watch us live on Twitch and Twitter. Reach us at garbage_time FF on Twitter, garbage fantasy football on Instagram. Anything else before we get out of here, boys?
Nope.
That is it for me.
Go Patriots.
That is an awful way to end the show, but bye, guys.